Welcome to a deep dive into the world of the German job seeker visa.
Ooh, exciting stuff.
Today we're honing in on how this visa works for someone applying from Nepal.
It's fascinating, isn't it? Germany's really making moves to attract skilled workers, from all over the world. They've got certain job sectors that really need a boost, and that's where this visa comes in.
It's like this visa is the key to unlocking a world of opportunity in Germany.
Exactly.
You get a good chunk of time to land a job and maybe even set down some roots. And don't worry, we're getting into the specifics for someone applying from Nepal.
Yes.
We're basing this deep dive on an article called Applying for a Germany Job Seeker Visa from Nepal.
Okay, great. And the first thing to think about is this visa really what you need to reach your goals?
Right.
Because it's not for casual trips or sightseeing, right?
Yeah.
It's really specifically for people who see themselves working and maybe even living in Germany long term.
So even if you already have a Schengen visa, which is awesome for short trips, if you want to backpack around Europe,
Yeah.
that won't cut it for job hunting in Germany.
Yeah.
You'd need this separate job seeker visa.
It's like you've got a ticket to a concert, but you need a special pass to go backstage.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe even jam with the band.
Yeah, I would like that. Okay, I'm picking up what you're putting down. So let's say you're ready to, rock that German job market. Are you even eligible for this backstage pass?
Well, Germany's got a few boxes you need to tick.
Like what? What are they looking for in a potential rock star employee?
Well, for starters, your education matters. You'll need a German degree or a Nepalese degree that's recognized as equivalent.
Mm-hmm.
So if your degree isn't from Germany, you'll need to get it recognized first.
How do you even do that?
There's a really helpful resource. It's called the Annabin database.
Okay.
It basically makes sure your qualifications meet their standards,
So it's like making sure you're bringing the right skills to the stage, so to speak.
Exactly.
Makes sense.
What else? Well, beyond your education, they want to see that you've got some real-world experience.
Okay.
At least 5 years of relevant work experience, professional or academic.
Mm-hmm.
Germany wants to see that you've got what it takes to contribute.
Experience is key. Now, this is something I always find interesting about visas,
Huh.
the money side of things.
Yeah.
You have to prove you can support yourself while you're looking for a job.
Right.
And it looks like our source article talks about this whole blocked account thing.
Yes, per conto.
Yes, for Kanto, yes.
This is super important. Think of it like a financial safety net.
Okay.
Before you even step foot in Germany, you've got to deposit a big chunk of change into a special bank account.
Mm-hmm.
This shows the German authorities that you're not going to be depending on them financially, while you're there.
It's like you're showing them you're serious about making it work,
Exactly.
that you've got a plan.
Yeah.
How much are we talking about here?
So as of March 2024, you need to have €947 per month ready to go,
Okay.
which is about 137,011.2 Nepalese rupees.
Wow. Okay, so they really don't mess around when it comes to being prepared, huh?
No, they want to make sure you're secure.
That makes sense, though. So you've got your education, your experience, your finances all lined up. I'm guessing there's a ton of paperwork, too. Paperwork is like the unavoidable hurdle of any international travel, am I right?
It's true. But it's manageable,
Okay, good. So what kind of documents do we need to round up for this visa application?
All right, so it is a pretty long list, but we'll take it step by step. First things first, your visa application form.
Okay.
The good news is you can find this online. No need to, go on a wild goose chase through different offices or anything.
Thank goodness for small favors. So application form, check. What's next?
All right, your passport.
Of course, yeah.
So it needs to be valid for at least 12 months after your planned departure from Germany.
12 months. Wow, that's longer than I would have thought.
Yeah, it's really important, though, because if your passport expires while you're abroad, that's a headache you don't need.
Agreed. Okay, good to know. What else are we gathering?
Right. So you need to show them where you're going to be staying during your job hunt.
Okay.
This could be a hotel reservation, or if you're staying with family or friends, they'd need to write you a letter confirming the arrangement.
Okay. So really making sure that you've got everything covered before you even get there.
Exactly. They want to make sure everything's planned out.
That makes sense.
And, of course, don't forget about that financial proof that we talked about, that blocked account with all the funds. That's non-negotiable.
Of course, yes.
And travel and health insurance, you need that too.
Okay, yeah. How much do we need for that?
It has to cover at least 30,000 euro, which is about, let's see, 4,340,375.87 Nepalese rupees.
Okay.
It's all about being prepared, right?
Right, right. Better safe than sorry.
Exactly. And one more thing, this is specifically for Nepalese applicants. You need to include civil status documents.
Civil status documents, what are those exactly?
Like marriage and birth certificates. It seems like they really want to get a complete picture, you know?
Interesting. Are we talking originals here, or can we send copies?
They want the originals or certified copies.
Okay, so no shortcuts there.
No, you can't cut corners on this application.
Got it. All right, so no shortcuts. Anything else we need to do with these documents, or are we done with the paperwork part?
Almost there. We're getting close. There's one more really important step. Authentication.
Authentication. Okay, tell me more about that.
So any documents that aren't in German or English, those have to be authenticated by the German embassy or consulate in Nepal.
So just having them translated isn't enough.
Right. They need that official stamp of approval.
Okay, so how long does that take?
Well, here's the thing. It can take a while. Like up to 12 weeks.
12 weeks?
Yeah. And it comes with an extra fee, unfortunately.
Wow, 12 weeks. Definitely something to get started on early then.
Oh, for sure. Preparation is key.
Okay, so we've got all our documents. They're authenticated. We're good to go, right? What happens next?
Right. So now it's time for the official application submission. You've got to find the German embassy or consulate that's responsible for your region in Nepal.
Okay, so you've really got to make sure you're going to the right place.
Absolutely. Once you've figured out where to go, you've got to make an appointment. And this is where it can get a little tricky because appointments can take several weeks to get.
Okay.
And walk-ins. Forget about it, no way. So planning ahead is super important. Patience is your best friend here.
No last-minute dashes to the embassy.
Definitely not.
Sounds like you've got to be on top of things every step of the way.
Yes, organization is key with this whole process.
Okay, so you've got your documents, you've got your appointment. What happens at the actual appointment? What can I expect?
Well, this is probably the most nerve-wracking part for most people.
I'd only imagine.
But remember, being prepared is so important. So at the appointment, you're going to submit your application. You'll pay the visa fee.
Okay.
Which, as of right now, it's 75, so about 10,850.94 Nepalese rupees.
Okay.
And then they might have some questions for you.
Okay, so like an interview.
Yeah, exactly. It's a chance for them to get to know you a little bit, hear about your plans and your background.
Oh, man, I bet that could be nerve-wracking.
It can be. But just remember to stay calm, be honest, and be clear about why you want to work in Germany.
Show them what you've got.
Exactly.
Okay, so the application is submitted, the fee is paid. I might have even survived the interview. What's next?
Well, now comes the hardest part. The waiting game.
Oh, I hate the waiting.
It's true. It can take several weeks for them to make a decision about your application. But let's stay positive, okay? Just imagine getting that email. Visa approved.
Oh, man, that would be amazing.
Right. The relief.
So what happens after that? Once you're actually in Germany, what are the next steps?
All right, so you've made it. You're in Germany. Congrats. Now there are two really critical things you need to do as soon as possible.
Okay, lay it on me.
First, you have got to register your address. You have to let them know where you're living.
Okay.
And you have to do this within 2 weeks of arriving in Germany.
At a specific office.
It's called the Einwohnermeldeamt, the local registration office.
Okay.
And then second, you've got to get a temporary residence permit from the immigration authorities, the Ausländerbehörde.
2 different offices, 2 different sets of paperwork.
That's right.
Okay.
It's all part of the adventure.
It's all part of making it work.
Exactly. Think of it like your official welcome to Germany.
Okay, so you've landed in Germany, gone through all that registration, and you're ready to start looking for a job. What's it like actually living in Germany with this visa?
So it's important to keep in mind that the job seeker visa isn't like a free pass to stay forever.
Right.
You have 6 months to find a job.
Okay, so you got to make it count.
Yes. Make the most of that time. And another thing, you can't bring your family over right away.
Oh, okay. So no bringing your family on this specific visa.
Not initially, no. Once you find a job and get a work visa or a residence permit, then you can start the process to bring them over.
So it's like you get settled, you get situated, and then you bring your loved ones over.
Exactly, exactly. It's a process. And another thing about life on this visa, you usually can't work part-time.
Oh, really? Is that to keep you focused on getting a full-time job, you think?
Right. It's about filling those full-time roles, although there might be a few exceptions, maybe something related to your job search, but yeah, don't plan on working part-time.
Okay, got it. Now let's talk about actually finding a job. Our source mentioned speaking German. They said it's not required to get the visa, but it's a really good idea if you want to actually find a job.
Yeah, trying to, like, go on interviews, network, or even understand job postings without knowing German, that would be really, really tough.
Yeah, for sure.
Having a good level of German, at least a B1 level, that's going to really help you out.
Makes those conversations a lot easier.
Exactly.
So, got my German skills polished up.
Mm.
What other advice do you have for someone who's about to dive into the German job market?
Get ready to send out a lot of applications.
Oh, yeah. Like, how many are we talking?
Our source suggests aiming for 100 to 200 at least.
Wow, that is a lot.
Yeah, but it's a competitive market.
Any tips for, like, making sure those applications stand out from the crowd?
Networking. It's super important. Go to job fairs, talk to people, use online resources.
Okay.
There are tons of websites specifically for finding jobs in Germany.
So it's about putting in the work, but working smart, too.
Exactly. Now, let's imagine you've aced the interviews, they loved your skills, and boom, you've got the job.
Yes. That's the dream. What happens then? What's the next step?
Time for a visa upgrade.
Another one.
Well, yeah, you're going from job seeker to, like, employed professional, so you've got to switch things up.
Right.
You'll either get what's called an EU blue card, this is for highly skilled workers, or a residence permit for employed foreigners. It all depends on your situation and the job.
Got it. So there are options, which is good.
Yes, always good to have options. And if you're feeling lost during this transition,
Yeah.
definitely reach out to the Ausländerbehörde.
Oh, right, the immigration office.
Yes. They'll be able to tell you which permit you need and how to get it.
Okay, great. Great to know they've got your back through all that. Now, we've been talking about the ideal scenario, but what happens if someone's application is denied?
Well, it's important to remember that rejections happen, you know. It's not always a reflection on you. But it's not the end of the world.
Okay.
You can always reapply. Just keep in mind you don't get that visa feedback.
Oh, right. So you really got to want it. What if you think the rejection was a mistake or that something wasn't right?
You can appeal the decision. Get in touch with the German embassy or consulate in Nepal. They can give you all the info you need about how to do that.
So even when things get tough, there's always a way to push forward.
Exactly. Never give up on your dreams.
Well, we've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive into the German job seeker visa, from the application process to actually finding a job and navigating life in Germany.
We've gone from A to Z, haven't we?
We really have. And for anyone listening who's thinking about taking the leap and applying for this visa, what's the one thing you should remember?
Preparation. Be organized. Gather your documents, understand the process, have a plan for your job search. That's how you make the most of this opportunity.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Well, as we wrap up this episode, we'd love for you to sit with this final thought. Imagine yourself in Germany, thriving in your career. What excites you most about the possibility of building a new life for yourself there? This has been The Deep Dive. Until next time.